Games have all kinds of inherent value that they rarely get credit for. They can help us understand the best way to act in any number of situations, one of which would be when not to throw a flashbang, and the answer is into a doorframe at your teammates. There is really no end to the things that we have and could learn from both video and tabletop games, and that's what we want to talk about this week on the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network.
My name is Bubba Stallcup, and I'm Chief Community Nerd here at Love Thy Nerd, and you are listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network. And join with me, as always, not as in person as he was a couple of days ago, is our Matt Warmbier.
What up?
Oh my god.
That was creepy. That was a little too ASMR.
Not sure what I was doing.
Not in the mood for that.
I don't know what ASMR is. I'm just thinking about it. Don't tell me.
Yeah,
take
you can
a
Google
guess.
it. You cannot Google it. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
And that other voice you hear, that not as male voice, is our chief social media nerd, Kate Katawaki.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, it says you're in a bad mood, Kate. Is that true?
Kinda.
Is that from-
I mean,
is that
I've
from
been
la-
having
is
a
that from
bad.
couple weeks ago?
I've been
Perpetual.
having a bad 3 weeks.
Okay. You sound
Stretch.
great.
It's a long stretch. Well,
know.
we're going to
Keep it
get
up.
through that because this podcast is very therapeutic for
Yes.
us. Yeah, and so hopefully it is for you too. We try to have fun, even though we may be having bad days or whatever's going on. Free Play, we hope, is a bright spot in a dark time that may be your life. That
Dark
got
place.
weird real quick. Maybe you're not. Who cares?
Woof.
We are tired. Matt and I have been jet lagged like crazy. I promise you that is a legit thing.
I am
This
tired.
past week, Matt and I flew. We tried to keep it secret, keep it safe from everybody. We flew he from Kentucky and I from Texas, Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
And Spokane, not Spokane.
That's right. That's how you remember that. We flew to Spokane, Washington to play Dice and Soup's Totes Worth. Am I right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, we went to Dice Throne Con Season 2 and had a blast. We'll be talking about it here in just a little bit. We got to play Season 3, the co-op dungeon crawl. We got to play with Season 3 heroes, the Tree Ant and the Ninja, affectionately named Trent and Nina. And I just made those names up while we were there. But we got to play with those characters. We got to play Pog Throne. We got to play in a Dice Throne tournament, which Drew did surprisingly well at.
Wow.
How dare he?
Yeah, a guy who had played, 3 games of Dice Throne before then, made it several rounds in to the tournament. So do with that what you will. I got knocked out by a 3rd grader in the first round.
Oh, no. It was
I like it.
hilarious.
Yeah. So shout out to Luke for doing that dang thing.
And Luke's dad for bringing him.
Luke's freaking dad was heckling from 2 people over. They both did really well. Longtime listener. And shout out to Luke's mom, because that's what we do here on the Free Play Podcast.
The
We do
mom
mom
shout
shout-outs. Mom shout-outs. Hey, that being said, if you would like a shout-out for your mom on the Free Play Podcast, all you got to do is become a monthly supporter. Luke is not, but he had a fun anecdote. All you got to do is become a monthly supporter to us. That's $1 or $100,000. The choice is yours. Really.
Or
There are 2
100
options.
grand.
Ooh.
You can make
I
a
like it.
100 grand. Yeah, if you don't get that office quote, just next podcast. But if you want that shout out, seriously, guys, just go to lovethynerd.com/partner and become a monthly supporter of what we do. And Humans of Gaming has really thoughtful stuff that they do, ways that they give back. You can, if you're a part of that monthly supporter group, we call it the Fellowship, you can then ask questions to developers and industry people on the Humans of Gaming podcast, which is really great, wonderful, thoughtful, introspective, deep. Here in the Free Play Podcast, we will say what's up to your mom. So
Yes.
do with that what you will. But if you want that, just let us know, and we will get you guys hooked up. Not going to be random. Just tell us your mom's name. We'll shout out. But also, guys, like I said, we just got back from Dice Throne Con. We're super jet lagged. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But before we get too far into the episode, I want to tell you guys something that is not on this call sheet. And I blame...
What is it?
I blame Kate.
Oh, great. It could be anything.
We have another podcast. I've already talked about Humans of Gaming. There's another podcast on the podcast network called the Pull List Podcast. And Hector and Chris, they had a chance to sit down over the internet, because that's how we sit down now.
Yeah.
They sat down with Kevin Eastman of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, co-creator of
baby turtles.
Right, Matt?
Bum, 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 bum. Yep, exactly that.
Yeah, so huge Turtles fan, Eastman, because he made them. But also, we are, I don't know if Kate is. I've really asked. Kate, are you a Turtles fan?
I've never seen anything or read anything.
Turtles.
Super fan. Got it. Yeah, we'll fix that in post. But I mean, I grew up in Ninja Turtles was like the coolest thing in the world to me. Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters, those were my two big go-to things as a kid / adult. And so now we have a podcast on our podcast network. The very first interview that they have ever done with somebody in the industry was with Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Turtles franchise. So you're going to want to listen to that. It's amazing. They talk about things that you never in a million years would think that you would get Kevin Eastman to talk about. And I'm going to leave that teaser right there and let you go.
Man, I haven't been able to listen yet.
Yeah,
my body is ready.
Pause this podcast, Matt, and go listen to
All right, I'll see you guys later.
But you're gonna want to. You can find us, the Humans of Gaming podcast, and also Pull List on all of the major and minor, for that matter, podcast places: YouTube, Stitcher, Spitcher, Spotify, all of them.
Snotify, definitely.
Snotify.
Yeah.
We're on all of the things, guys. Wherever you can find podcasts, you can find us. Just search Love Thy Nerd or Pull This Podcast or Free Play Podcast or Humans of Gaming, and you can get those things into your earballs. And I promise you, you're going to be glad that you did.
Yep. Speaking of Turtles, I think at LTN Con, I'm going to be narrating the entire Turtles 2 movie.
Are you going to do the whole thing?
Wow.
I don't know.
Are you really going to do the whole thing?
I would do maybe some major parts of it. So the plan was the tentative plan is to mute the movie, have me up next to the screen, and do all of the parts while it's up there.
We've not yet had our conversation about this, and I love everything that you
I'll
just
pass.
said.
I think it would be hilarious.
Oh, let's freaking go. Let's do it.
Brush up a little bit. But
Yeah,
I
get
think
practicing.
I have to turn it on in the background all day long.
Dude, this is great.
Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum.
Yes. Oh, man.
Oh, well,
Matt did that while we were at Dice Throne Con, and every time I feel like I'm going to pee my pants. It's just the best, funniest thing that I think that you do.
It's my life, you know. I just know it. I can't help it.
Yeah, it's not your fault, you know.
It's just who I am.
Some people are born with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know.
Maybe it's Turtle Food, Secret of the Use.
But Kate she wrote something here into the notes, into our call sheet here, that is a new segment. Kate, why don't you take it away?
It's a very new and exciting segment. I don't know how often it's going to happen, but it's definitely happening today. It is called Free Play Urgent Breaking News. And we're going to...
insert a lot of things here. Clausen, like...
Yeah, put that in there.
Put all that in post. It's newsy.
Yeah, newsy noises. So today we're going to be watching listening to little...
I'll watch it. Everybody else on Earth will just listen.
All you need is the
Including
audio
me.
to get,
Okay.
What's best out of it. All right, so here we go.
Ready.
This is urgent breaking news. Keep in mind, Free Play Podcast. Here we go.
Some scary moments for customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges. But I can tell you right now, you asked the producer for me to read that, didn't you? To Ethan now, please.
No.
Thanks, Ethan. To you.
This guy is just, I'm going to pause it there. It just goes on. This guy is just cracking up. Like he has got the biggest third grade grin on his face right now. Come on. We've all done this, right? We've all blown up a Target bathroom.
Don't say that.
It's a Home Depot.
I mean.
Yeah, you can't say it anymore.
We've all destroyed public bathroom. Kate for sure.
But nobody's ever called. Nobody's
ever called in a bomb threat.
No one's ever called in a bomb threat. I've watched this video, no joke, like 50 times. It goes on to talk about like a bonsai tree that's been kidnapped.
No.
Yes, it does.
Is this a real news?
Yes,
This
it's
is
real.
Resident Bombs world.
No, it's not. It's real. Fixing to blow it up.
Fitting to blow it up.
That's a man who is just very comfortable with his body.
Yeah.
Announcing that to people like, hey, I'm about to blow this thing up. Don't go in there.
He was like, my body is ready, and then told everybody about it. So can you blame him?
I feel like, didn't this happen already? Like, is this history repeating itself? What happened to wasn't there like a Target, something that happened in a Target bathroom not that long ago?
I don't go into Target bathrooms.
I don't know this
Do
one.
you not? Oh man, I visit every one I go.
Me too. It's like it's a running joke with Aaron and I. Like we walk into Target, I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom.
There's an unnamed member of my family, which I am just not going to say who. 100% unnamed. That every time this person visited a Home Depot, like Kate just said, had to go to they could have gone in there having not eaten for days. The moment they walk into a Home Depot, something about the smell of the place just makes them have to go.
Sawdust.
Well,
straight
that's
to the intestines.
free play urgent breaking news for you.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. So moving the show along, let's talk about what we've been playing. Let's give the people what they want here, okay? News and what we've been playing. So Kate, why don't you kick us off? What have you been playing?
Well, I have exciting big news about cattails, as I'm sure everyone's been waiting for. I've gotten like a lot of messages about it, and I just want to say
No,
that
you have not.
I haven't gotten any. That was just for dramatic effect.
They're clamoring about it.
Clamoring.
And everyone, my cat Chubbs, has become friends with everyone in his colony, and now, as of last night, has a girlfriend.
He's dead. Oh.
No, he has a girlfriend.
Whew, that was close.
Yeah, her name is Scout, and she's a really cute little cat who likes to hunt. So I'm just preparing the den.
They're not really boyfriend friend.
I'm preparing the den right now for kittens. We need to build a thing, but we're far away from kittens. But I'm just getting all excited. I'm really happy for Chubbs. Things are really moving along.
It's a big day for the both of us, I guess.
It's a huge day, so I just wanted to let everybody know that. You know, I'm sure people have just been kept up at night wondering about cattails. I've also played, because I'm on this like free demo spree right now, where I'm playing a bunch of free demos of stuff to see if I like it.
Cheap.
Well, no, it's me trying new things in a way that costs $0.
Cheap, you know? It's gonna cost somebody $.
I played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it was really fun. I've never played a Tomb Raider game before, ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that game, people are like raving about Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Like almost cattails level.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Cattails is way up there. So I really like it. I mean, I got jump scared a couple times. I'm just really jumpy right now.
Cattails?
No, we're talking about Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Shadow of the Cattails. My anxiety is a little bit high right now, so I've been getting jump scared by just random things, by the wind. So by that. So, but other than the little jump scares, and there was a puzzle I was not understanding for some reason, and then she kept giving me
Did you
vocal. Try? I was trying, but she kept saying the same line over and over again. Every 3 minutes.
Kate.
And I'm like, good. No, be quiet.
That was the line.
Get good, Kate. Get good.
Yeah. I'm probably going to buy this game. Long story short.
Things.
I'm probably going to buy this game.
You know what? Just send me the money. We'll work it out.
No, I need to find the money. So I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
Oh.
I'm waiting for
It's
it to go on
in
sale.
Steven's wallet. Just go in there and
No, it's not because
We'll distract him right now.
Yeah,
Steven, look out behind you. The other way. Steven,
No,
throw
the
your wallet down.
opposite
the
way
money is not in his wallet because he
This is
wants
a
to
robbery,
buy.
Steven. Put your money on the counter. Hands
Ooh.
up.
Yeah.
Is it working?
No, he's gonna buy a bow.
No, I'm
bow
hoping
and
that he listens
arrow.
to this on Friday and he just gets freaked out and throws his wallet down.
Right.
Steven, reverse it a little bit. If that didn't work, try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to step 2.
Anyways, moving on with this blessed show.
Yeah.
What's up?
What have you been playing, Matt?
Well, I think Bubba and I could probably talk about the same thing together.
Okay, then you
Because-
could do that.
Well, hey,
We
very
finish
much
each other's
sandwiches.
sandwiches. Absolutely.
Always. We, like Bubba said, we're in Spokane,
Ooh, Spokane.
Washington for Dice Throne Con this past weekend. And wouldn't you believe it? There was a lot of Dice Throne going on there.
Wow.
I think I played more times in 2 days
Oh.
than I
Hands
ever
down.
have in
Hands
a
down.
series of a couple days. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but that's what we played. I was in the tournament. Bubba was in the tournament, like you mentioned. Did you actually win a game against little Kevin?
I won. His name's Luke.
So
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. I won my first game. I was the artificer. He was the pyromancer. Somehow I beat him.
A child.
Well, he was probably between 8 and 10, I would say.
To be fair, he helped me a lot. So
Oh.
he kept saying, "All I really want is for you to hit your ultimate." Like he kept saying stuff like that, and so
You're like,
we made
geez,
it
get out of
happen.
my head. Get out of my head.
He was the best coach I ever had.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help you much more. I also won my very first match. I was feeling really good. Like I wanted to go into this with some confidence. Tournament scenes aren't really my jam usually.
Nah.
I don't really care to win, but I just felt like I needed to at least win the first round, and then I could bow out and be okay. So the first game, I won no problem, and it's the best of 3 for each person you play.
Yeah.
Second game, I got the guy down to he had 4 or 5 health, really maybe 3 even, really low, and I was sitting at a cool 13. I was like, "This is it. I'm going to win. He's not going to win. I'm going to move on from this, and it's no problem." The guy freaking rolls his ultimate and just beats me right there.
Yeah.
Does 14 damage, beats me right there. I have nothing to stop him with. I was like, okay, no problem. Just pick yourself up, Matt. You got this. Keep rolling that samurai train. And I did it. I played samurai, and then I played monk, because in this tournament you had to, if you won, you had to switch characters. So I played samurai in the first match, monk on the second match, and then I went back to samurai on my third match.
Dance with the girl that brought you. Absolutely.
Right. So I was I'm just going to make this happen. I was rolling well and got him down to 3 or 4 health. And the same freaking thing happens. He rolls his ultimate, gets me I think he had loaded dice and he just turned him on when he wanted to.
Yeah, most of those guys do.
Did you hear a voice
That's really what the tournament scene is.
saying, "Get good, get
Yeah,
good, Matt,
good, Matt, get good. I did. And I was
It's
like,
a
she
freaking
keeps saying the
cattails
same
again.
thing. She keeps saying the same thing. But it was actually probably good that I didn't win that first tournament, because had I won it, I would have had to continue and then missed out on playing season 3 stuff.
Yeah.
And Bubba and I did a Beard Bros there. I won't say it was our best Beard Bros ever, but
No, it was definitely our most different Beard Bros.
it was our most different Beard Bros.
Yeah.
But we were able to play season 3, which, for those of you that haven't seen or living under a rock, season 3 is a co-op dungeon crawler where you face off against minions. You're flipping tiles as you move through a dungeon, facing off against minions, finding loot, finding other treasures, all leading up to facing off against a boss at the end of the dungeon. And we faced off against the Fallen Barbarian. Which he was only the level 1 first boss of the first dungeon, and
that dude was a huge jackwagon
I
to the
heard
max.
in the distance, "Get good, Matt, get good."
Yeah,
And
it was him.
It was him, and he starts off with 90 health, while the rest of us start the entire dungeon with 15 each, which is not a lot. There's ways to heal yourself. Like when you beat some of the minions, you can heal yourself. But we didn't go into that fight with a whole lot of health. I want to say that we would have won had we had to stop
I'm
because of
very
time.
confident. We stopped at like 47
40,
health.
yeah. It was
Jeez.
close.
I was after like 1.5 turns, so I'm very confident we would have got him.
I think he probably would have taken a couple of us out in the process, but I think we could have gotten him.
Yeah, but not me.
Well, not me, obviously, because I was rolling really well.
I mean, Kyle and Kate for
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're dead.
Yes.
So the nice thing about this campaign, it's called a legacy, a non-destructive legacy. I think that's what Nate called it. At the end of each scenario, you can then purchase loot that you add to your deck that you then continue over into the next dungeon, next scenario. And any upgrades you have on your board stay on your board. So it really is just building off, because I've heard that the king is just nearly impossible to beat.
So here, let's define why. So okay, those dudes start at 90. That one started at 90. The other ones will start higher than that. And it's not like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll just fight the next boss. It's like, no, you have to get to that boss and then fight him. And he also has cheat tokens. Cheat tokens. They are exactly what they sound like.
They say cheat on them.
Yeah, they're little red tokens that say cheat. And anytime he doesn't hit something, he gets 3 rolls just like everybody else does. Anytime he doesn't hit something, he gets to use one of those cheat tokens. And if he rolls a 5 or a 6, then he gets to take 3 more rolls and try again.
Dang.
Anytime
That's
he
harsh.
whiffs, he gets to try again. Or if he hits one of those tokens. So that's level 1. In level 2, if he rolls a 4, 5, or a 6, he triggers a token. He or she triggers a token. You get to the next level, it's 3, 4, 5, or 6. And then you get to the Mad King, and it's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Almost automatic.
He had better hit or something severely wrong with the dice.
Yeah. And so it's like oh, okay, well we'll just get there and it'll be fine. No, you get there and you're like at, I don't know, 4 health or whatever, because the dungeons just get longer and more sprawly and everything. Like when you beat the Mad King, it is going to be a feat to behold. Yeah. And I am crazy excited about it. To anybody who has listened or will listen, or even will just stand there while I'm talking with headphones in, I don't care. I've told them that for me, Season 3 will get way more playtime than regular Dice Throne ever did. And that's not to say that I don't play Dice Throne. It is the #1 game that gets played at our game night every other Friday. I have several copies of Season 1 and Season 2 at my house. Like, it's a game that I teach to people. I'm in the Dice Roy program. Like, it's a thing in my life. But Season 3, because it is a co-op dungeon crawl that I can do with my bros, that is my jam. Like, 100%. It is a thing that will get the most play at my house.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different every time you play it.
Yeah, it absolutely will. We actually played a couple games today. Like, we just kept rolling into it. And don't worry, I won. Doing well.
Oh,
I
thank
really
goodness.
Just took that confidence on.
You played
I played
what?
Haven. I played.
Oh,
Dice
I
Throne.
thought you were trying to tell me you played Season 3. I was about to climb through this microphone.
Yeah. Nate told me I could keep their only prototype. It was awesome. I was like, man, you guys are really great. You guys are seriously the best.
Some high-res pictures you got in your iPhone there.
Well, I did what I could.
All the better to print you with, my dear.
That's right. Anything else about the convention, the weekend? Bubba, we can mention a couple other games we played.
If you were a backer of Season 2, they have the Treant that is ready for print, and so I'll be doing that. We'll be posting some stuff about that. And I'm sorry if you didn't go to the con, or if you weren't a backer of Season, cannot give you access to the Treant, but just know that it's going to be in Season. They talked about minis being a part of Season 3.
Oh, you guys like minis.
Love.
Oh, I call them miniatures.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
I just call them minis. I don't know.
Miniatures.
Mins if you're nasty. And so but they're going to be in there, and they're optional. And to me, it's not optional, because I would much rather have the mini.
Same.
So, yeah, everybody's like, not everybody, but there were some people that were saying, oh, why let's just keep it simple. Why do we need to do all these things?
Keep it simple, stupid.
You have to have something that's tracking your progress through the dungeon. And so the Standee does that. And I would much rather have the mini than a stand. Like that just is what it is. I backed a game, Streets of Rage. Nope. Streets of Rage?
Try again.
Streets of Rage is a video game.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It's like the side-scrolling,
yeah, something
8-bit
Streets
style. It's kind of like Streets of Rage, but it's a video. It's a tabletop version. Yeah.
And they had a minis option or a standees option, and in that case, I chose to go with the standees because the standees were pixel art, whereas the minis obviously were not pixel art. And I think I've talked about that before on this podcast. But in this case, in the Dice Throne case, I have plenty of minis art in other places. What I don't have is a 3D representation of these bros. So that's for me. That's going to be a must buy, and we'll see. I've got to believe that there's going to be season 1, 2, and 3 miniatures available.
There you go. You said it right.
Yeah, miniatures.
Miniatures.
Well, they said 18 miniatures.
That's a lot.
So yes.
That's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah, that's all of them.
So I don't know. We'll see how that comes down. We didn't get an official release date for that. I do know that they're trying to hit a 12-month schedule. So from Kickstarter to door, they're trying to hit 12 months. That's what they did with Season 1, Season 2, and they want to keep that with Season 3. But in order to do that, I mean, if they were going to launch like soon or in August or whatever, or June, I can't remember exactly what the summer time frame, they would have had to have been done now, like sent to the factory for print. So they're going to push that back a little bit. And then that pushes Pog Throne back, which I am low-key excited and sad at the same time because I want it to be good. I really do want it to be good. Pog Throne is a game that I'm actually excited about. Like I don't fake it. I didn't see a lot of people playing Pog Throne, but you know what? I was thinking about this, Matt. I don't think that space, Dice Throne Con, I don't think that is Pog Throne. I don't think who that is.
No, everyone there, I think most of them would enjoy Pog Throne, but everyone there was to play Dice Throne. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
I think it taps into another market. I think it taps into the casual market, which was not primarily the people that were at Dice Throne Con. Yeah.
Maybe I'll play Pog Throne.
You will.
Probably not, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Drew and I played, and as good as he was at Dice Throne, he was equally as bad at Pog Throne, which worked in my favor.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He whiffed several times, which only helped me. So I appreciated that. But yeah, I mean, there were things, there was stuff in swag bags, and everybody got $10 off a purchase, which made things ridiculously cheap. You could get the battle boxes, which had 2 heroes in it, things that aren't even available at retail yet. You could get those for $10, like 2 heroes for $10.
I got a mat.
You could get a play mat for $10 because they were selling them for $20 at the con, or you could get the battle chest for $90. It just insane. And I mean, honestly, that leads us to a kind of an announcement that we have doing a raffle. Raffle. If you guys remember, not that long ago, we did a raffle where we did Season 2 Battle Chest, and I think we had a PlayStation 1 Classic, and we also did My Little Scythe. Well, this is a strictly, primarily Dice Throne raffle, and it's going to one person and one person only. It's going to be $10 a ticket, unlimited tickets, just like the last one. But here's the difference: it's going to be Season 2 Battle Chest signed with everything in it. It's also got the promo deck and all that mess. It's also going to have Season 1 Champion Edition, Roxley Edition, signed, all that mess. And it's also going to have 2 playmats, 2 minimalist playmats. So you'll have that ready to go for you and a bro. We didn't get those signed because we wanted you to experience that fresh smell when you open those bad boys up. But you also get, on top of that, you get all of the swag that came from Dice Throne Con. So that is a pack of Season 2 button. That is one of the books that Manny has drawn and wrote from Victoria Jr. And you also get the coupon. You're not gonna be able to use it, but you get it. I think there's some CP dials and some health dials that are just like generic Dice Throne stuff for prototyping, and a bunch of other things. Like you get an entire Dice Throne package that is legitimately like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff that you can get for $10 a ticket. We're only going to run that for a month starting today, this Friday, but it'll only run for a month after that, and then we'll close it down. So just steal this from us at $10 a ticket. And all the money that you do is going to go into Love Thy Nerd. We're not pocketing any of it. It's only going to go to make what you see and hear from us better. So do us a favor and go to lovethynerd.com/raffle, or just click on the link in the description below here on this Facebook post, and it'll be a link in the bio and all that mess where that is applicable. So we had a blast at Dice Throne Con, and we want to share that experience with, and we think that it's important enough that we want to give you everything from it, all of it. No excuse not to play Dice Throne. The other thing that I played, I did not just play Dice Throne. We did have a chance to play other games other than Dice Throne. And I think the biggest takeaway that I played from other than just a Dice Throne game is War Chest.
Oh, yeah.
I never played this game before.
Same. It was good.
What's that?
Kate, have you even heard of War Chest?
What's that?
So it's basically like a chess game with you have these little hex spaces on the board that you're trying to move into, and some of them you capture, but you also have these poker chips that are your pieces. So there are several different factions. I don't even remember how many there are. But
16 total.
16 total?
Oh, I was going to say 3. That's how many are in Cattails.
Yeah, it's about the same thing.
So you have, each one of them has a different movement and a different way that they attack and stuff like that. So it has a little bit of asymmetry, but not so in that each person has a different win condition. And I will not bore you with all of the details because it does take just a little bit to explain. But it's basically a poker chip chess deck builder. I think that's about as good as I can explain that in one foul swoop sentence. I didn't know how I was going to like it, but Aaron Waltman, a guy who we stayed with, one of the Dice Throne Bros, he said, hey, let's play. We played with John HT as well from Dice Throne. And I was on Aaron's team. Matt, you were on John's team. And you guys got decimated. It was the best game I had played. But I just had so much fun. I had so much fun playing that game that I bought it.
You had all the good people. That's the problem. We didn't have people who could do. We had the support people, and you had all of the attackers because it's a draft basically. Like you're just kind of you're dealt. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Beggars can't be choosers.
We had nobody that could do anything. We got destroyed. Yeah. But I like the game still.
Did you buy it?
I didn't buy it yet.
It's in your Amazon cart. Just send to home.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, Satan. Away from me, Satan.
I think you should do it, man.
I have to be like my only hesitation with it is who would I play?
I already answered this.
Yeah.
You on Tabletop Simulator, but I don't need to purchase the game.
No, not Tabletop Simulator. Aaron was saying that ruins the game.
Oh, on Skype. Okay.
Yeah, we'll Skype it, bro.
Okay, well.
You don't sound convinced.
Let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, well, it's really, I can tell you exactly what you just push the button and then it comes to your house. That's how Amazon works. They may not pay taxes, but they send you your stuff. Hot take.
Not very timely. I wanted my games today.
Yeah, you got to buy all that stuff. You got to buy all the things off of Amazon before it's not a thing anymore. So that's what I say. But it reminds me a lot of a game called Hive, which is way more low-key. Like, way more low-key than War Chest
When you said hex tiles, that made me think of that game because of what you said whenever that was about it.
I did buy that game.
You bought the smaller, better made
the Pocket Edition. I don't understand like the other ones like Pocket Edition. Maybe if you're wearing Jinkos, but you at least can fit in your pocket. It's not much bigger.
Yeah, but you said it's better made, right? Like
it's the same quality. Like it's just smaller, and you get the mosquito and ladybug expansions for
just
cheaper.
Those two? I thought there was one more too.
There's a pill bug, but it came out before the pill bug.
Oh, a pill bug. That sounds intriguing.
And yours is fully colorized. It's not the monochrome.
Right.
Okay. That game is really fun. I guess we'll go and talk about it for a second. If you haven't played Hive, I played it as one of my Bubba Plays a Game a Day on Instagram. Kate, stop plugging that. People don't care. For the love.
What?
But
Are you
anyway, before I so rudely interrupted.
Oh my god.
I played it as one of my games, and I'd been wanting to play this game because I played Patchwork, and my wife loves Patchwork because it's a 2-player game and it's thematic for her. And somebody was like, "Oh, if you like Patchwork, you gotta play Hive." So I played Hive and crushed her, and then took it to Dice Throne Con and played against Drew, and he crushed me. And now the game is stupid, and I don't even want it anymore. But
I love it. I'm so happy.
But no, it's really fun because it's really good when you're playing a game with somebody and you know the moment that they know what they're doing. Like, it clicks and you see it click and you're like, I got them. They're going to love it. And that was where I got with Drew. He was playing a game against Sleepy Drew is still fun, and I was playing against, but Hive is one of those games that you want to play immediately again. War Chest is one of those games that you want to play like immediately again. But I couldn't play again against Sleepy Drew because I was lucky to get what I got out of it.
I have a picture of Sleepy Drew sitting at a table playing Reckoners with us, like asleep.
Yes,
and I had to be like,
full asleep.
Drew, we're rolling our dice now. He's like,
Oh my gosh, there's the picture.
yeah.
Rolling.
Look at him, his eyes are closed.
Seriously,
that's how he
That
sleeps.
wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time he fell asleep either. The first time I got like this, he opened his eyes just as I took the picture. So like this, like half, like like look at me.
This looks great.
Yeah.
I like his
Thanks.
hat. He's wearing
The composition
a cool
is
hat.
really great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It was framed really well.
Thank you.
We'll make sure to have that photo available.
That will
There it is.
absolutely
Yeah, no, I was there for it. Thank you. But yeah, guys,
so
those are just
good.
some of the games that we've played, and I mean, like, legit, not even close to all of the games that we played, just some of them. But we want to know, what games have you been playing? We have this segment for the sole purpose of telling you what we've been playing, so maybe you get involved in the hobby in a way that you didn't know existed. Maybe you don't know anything about Dice Throne, and hopefully we've opened your eyes a little bit to the possibilities of what could be, and maybe you can tell us some games that you've been playing. We would love to know on all of the social media. Kate has something to say. I see that hand.
Yeah, I raised my hand because we actually got someone on our Twitter, BT Cooper, who wrote and told us what he was playing.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, he said, over the weekend, I was kicking it old school in my game playing with Fatal Frame 2, Parasite Eve, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It was very fun. He also said, holy crap, Matt's gorgeous reading voice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Next
I didn't
question.
see that.
Yeah.
Whew, is it hot in here? Is it just me?
Stop. I don't want to ever hear that again.
Well, it's too late. It's immortalized.
It's
Clausen,
immortalized.
please mute.
I will only speak when I'm
Well-
spoken to in this voice.
Thank you so much for your response on Twitter. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe that just shows you guys that we are listening. This is not just us speaking into the ether.
We are listening.
God.
Yeah, today I posted on there about how we prepare for each free play episode. And it was, Matt said, that's a good show topic. Kate, I'll think on it and be ready for tomorrow. And I said, if you're not ready, you will be killed. And you both agreed to the terms. So I posted that evidence.
I'm
That's
ready.
real life. That's a real life for us.
I'm ready.
It's real life.
So follow
let-
on the Twitters.
Yeah, let us know, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. We do social media, and we do it pretty dang well, if Kate does say so herself. So we want to engage with you on all that social media. Let us know, what are you playing? What should we be playing? I'm legit terrified about playing all the games. Those are some spoopy AF games right there. Fatal
Yeah.
Frame 2, that game is like a jump scare
I haven't
all
played
the
that
way
one.
through it.
I
Sounds like
couldn't
your type
handle
of
it.
game. You will.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're just taking
Aw.
pictures, and things are jumping out and scaring you the whole time.
Okay, nope.
Oh, like the Goosebumps book. Say cheese and die.
Exactly like say cheese.
Not spooky then. I've read that book. I made it through. But I have not read Say Cheese and Die 2. I'm not sure
Say
what happens
cheese and
there.
die again.
One more time. Did you guys read that one?
No,
No.
There was a
Never
camera
heard
that
of
would
it.
kill people.
I'll get on Audible. I'll get
Yeah,
it.
get it.
I got
Use
the
this
credits.
one.
I wasn't
Yeah, use this
allowed
month's
to read
Audible
those
credit.
books growing
I'm
up.
not
I read
reading to
them.
myself like some kind of peasant. No way,
I read them
man.
all. I read them all. A lot of them, at least.
Even the Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps book.
I don't know, I was a little old for that, don't you think? I already chose my own adventures.
Bum 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum 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 bum. Yeah.
No, that's not it. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh man, Well, let us know. Seriously, guys, what are you playing? We want to know what we should be playing as well. I've got a backlog a mile long. It is embarrassing. Maybe I'll get to it. Probably not. I don't know. But hit us up on all the social media at Love Thy Nerd, or if you want to talk to us directly at Free Play Podcast. Well, this week our topic is talking about the most valuable lessons that we've learned in games. So, Kate, why don't you take it away and lead us through this?
Well, this topic was inspired by a question that somebody left on one of our question threads.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, I
Not
think we
really,
should.
but okay.
It's for the best.
John Harris says,
That's
finish
not
this sentence. I'm doing a slow one. Finish this sentence. If video games have taught me anything, it's ellipses.
So I thought that was a good question and a good intro
It is a good question.
to a good topic about what's the most valuable lessons that we've learned in games. Any game, video game or tabletop.
Let's address his specific question first. He said in video games.
Okay, but
Video
I was
juegos.
going to do that.
that's fine. I just didn't want you to get all butthurt and be like, "Oh no, now I can't talk about another video."
Hey, we are called
of
free
tabletop.
play because we can play anything. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not tabletop.
So long
podcast.
as it's a tabletop. Oh, okay, I see what yeah.
Well,
Got it.
well, we can free
I
play
wanted-
anything we darn well please. All right.
Okay, fine. Okay, you
I
can
have
go
an
first.
answer.
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Kate.
no, you
No, you go
first.
first.
No, you
No,
go.
but first before
I'm
she,
ready.
then you.
So the first thing that came to mind after I read this here document when you sent it to us, Kate, I think if it's taught me anything, it's taught me. It's probably a couple things. I'll say it taught me not to care as much
Hey, you're doing great.
about losing because you're going to lose in video games, whether you are really, really good at them or you're really poor at them. Like, you're going to lose. And that's good. I think it's important to, it's humbling. Like, you just can't be the best at everything. There's always going to be someone who's better than you. We used to play a lot of NCAA football back in my youth.
Man, what's up?
Yeah, bless up.
Okay, Creed Bratton.
We played a whole lot, and I had to be okay with sometimes losing, like, by a lot. And I think,
Yeah.
I don't know, I kind of went into that same mentality with my kids and video games and tabletop games. I know you asked specifically about video games, but I'm not going to go easy on someone I'm playing,
No.
but I'm not going to be a jerk about it either. So, like, with kids, like, I'm not going to let you win. Like, when you finally win, like, you're really going to earn it. And you are going to, like, when we're done, like, I'm going to tell you good game. We're going to shake hands. And you can play again if you want to. But we're not going to be upset about losing.
It's good. It's great. So great.
I'll think of some
Happy
more
for
while
you.
you guys go. Go ahead.
What about you, Kate?
I think patience, like with myself. The first game that I ever finished.
Get good.
Yeah, exactly. The first game that I ever completed, I believe, was Super Mario Land on the original Game Boy.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow, you were old.
Yeah, my dad had one in his
Oh.
office, and we would only get to play it when we got our teeth cleaned.
Really?
And we were like, Dad, this is child abuse to only have it here, and you're not using it. So we got to bring it home. And
Mario Land.
I have so many questions about what just was said there, but go ahead.
it was freaking so hard.
That
I
game was
cannot
really
tell
hard.
you how many times I raged. And it's like basically a permadeath. Like, there's no checkpoints once you're
That's
lives are
Mario
done,
Brothers.
like-
Like, that's Mario Brothers right
like,
there.
Like, you're done.
No
and so when
war-
I
well,
finally
were there
beat
war
it,
pipes?
I don't remember. Probably, but Kate didn't know where they were.
Fair enough.
no, there
You
were
get the-
there were some warp pipes in that game.
You get to
But, like-
fly around or swim around a little submarine.
Yeah, you could do all
Yes,
kinds of stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
You can go
You
to Egypt.
basically, yeah, you had to do it in one go, basically. And
Okay, good.
it was the best feeling in the world that I will never be able to replicate when I finished that game. And I beat it. I
Games
was
back
like, I
then
can't
were
believe
hard.
it. This is the greatest thing. And I don't think I've played a game as challenging to this day as that game.
The boss in that
Were
game
you-
wasn't even Bowser.
Was it Wart?
No,
It was Wart, some frog,
That'd be Wart, yeah.
some lizard king.
something like that.
I just have one question. There's many, but I just want to know just one thing. Did you have to play the game while you were getting your teeth cleaned or
No.
work done? Okay.
No, we would only get to play it while we waited for, like, me and my brother would play it while the other person was getting their teeth cleaned to keep us entertained and not.
Did you get your teeth cleaned every other week?
Probably.
No, once every 6 months. So that's why we said to my dad, you can't do this to us. You have to let us bring it home. It's just sitting here.
You can't do this to me.
So yeah, and like that patience with myself and knowing that getting through the level is possible. And it's kind of the same thing with Super Mario Odyssey. There were some ridiculous looking things that I was trying to get through. And Steven's like, why don't you just give up? Like, it's impossible. And I was saying, no, it is possible to do this. You just have to do it right. I just have to master this weird technique of using this weird moving thing good enough to get through, to get
I think
that
you're bringing
moon.
up a whole other topic for a podcast about how we've gone soft on video games. Like,
oh, I should write that down. Hold on.
yeah, write that down. We'll talk about it another week. Bubba, what about you?
Video games, for the most part, like if there's one big takeaway that I could have from video games in particular, is honestly that I'm not as good as I think I am.
I could have told you that.
Because,
Yeah,
well,
easy.
how about you don't? Okay.
You're great, Bubba. Keep it up.
But no, seriously. So you think about it, like you're playing a game at your house or whatever, and it's just you. And for me, that game that is coming to my mind right now is Mortal Kombat. Original Mortal Kombat. Original Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. And I can remember like getting bloody knuckles from rubbing my knuckles back and forth on the A and the B button during
What
Test
in
Your
the
Might.
world were you doing?
Test your might. Test your might. Because you gotta mash the buttons, and I couldn't. I didn't know the two things. My hands weren't big enough. My hands weren't big enough to do the thumb rock back and forth, to do that over and over and over again. And then I think you had to click the left trigger to chop.
Well, there's your problem. You should have gone with Sega.
Sega. Well, I didn't have a Sega, so you get what you get. You don't fit.
You're right.
And so what I would do is I would just rub my knuckles back and forth on the A and the B button, which is a terrible idea. I don't recommend that at all.
Sounds so bad.
But anyway, so
did anyone else? I've never done that before.
I've
No?
never done that.
I've never even heard of that. Like,
freaking pro
if
strap.
you've done that, please let us know. I feel like this is a Bubba exclusive.
Yeah.
I tried a bunch of things. I tried wedging the controller in between my knees and doing the little finger punch. You
should have just had your mom help you.
She's busy, bro. Always busy when I'm playing games. But like that's not even what I'm trying to talk about. Like that. It's
Sorry, I got stuck on it.
What did it teach me? It taught me how much games physically hurt me. Yeah, absolutely. No. But you would play, and you'd play through the single player mode or whatever, and like you would beat it, and you get to the boss, and Goro and Shang Tsung and blah blah blah, whatever the crap, and you're like, I'm the best this game has ever seen. And then you take it to a buddy's house, you play him at his house, and he beats you every single time. Like that was my life. It really was. And I still enjoy the single player experience sometimes more than a versus or like a co-op. I'll play co-op because I'm not reminded of how bad I actually am at games. You look at
It's
my
enjoyable
stats.
still.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable still.
So to me, like that's like a real hard introspective life lesson is that you just are not as good as you think. And now like that's amplified, right? Like we have Smash tournaments and Halo tournaments and all sorts of stuff. And
Dice Throne tournaments where you lose to a kid.
Hey,
it's not a video game.
Don't bring that
Oh,
back
sorry.
up.
But like I'm just constantly reminded that you're just not as good as you think you are. And the only time that is not true, that I am as good as I think I am, is when I'm playing Mario Kart. Like
But I won that one time.
One time you.
I still
think
won,
I had
though.
the flu.
We were in the airport and we had been up for days. So
That's probably what it was. But even then, it's not like I'm the best at Mario Kart ever, which some people are like professional competitive players. That's their outlook. I'm the best. Nobody will ever. Don't you dare say
well,
that.
see, you say all that, but I remember a 10-year-old beating you.
Well,
And he was probably professional.
I'm pretty sure he was jacked up on something.
Jolt.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
This segment's
I'm
brought to
jacked
you
up
by
on Mountain
Jolt Cola. Have a Jolt.
No segment in any podcast is brought to you by Jolt Cola. Let's just get that out of the way.
Jolt
could be
that
a sponsor.
body of yours. It could be. I was thinking more about it. I think that video games primarily, and some tabletop games have taught me teamwork. Really, like there's a lot of games like you have to work. It does. You have to work together. Gosh, just being able to like I'm trying to think of like specific games here, like where you need the other person to complete objectives.
Unravel.
Unravel, exactly. Yes, there you go.
It's a good
Unravel.
Shout out Tobias.
Yeah, hey Tobias. Stay away from those spicy bros. Yeah, just like there are games like where you just need the other person to even complete the game. Like it's not a do it by yourself type of thing. Which like Bubba was saying, I've grown up now, and I actually prefer those more than co-op games. Being able to work together. Spirit Island, like if your spirit's not pulling its weight, you're not gonna win.
No. What about you, Kate? What's another thing that games have taught you?
Definitely that kind of like changed my perception of games. I think for a long time I thought that games were either Super Mario Land or they were Call of Duty. Like there was no in between.
It's a pretty big dichotomy.
Yeah, but in
the
the
same
sense
game.
that they were kind of like high-ish stress for me personally, at least. Call of Duty, like if you're going to play a PlayStation game, it's going to be a shoot 'em up. It's going to be kind of like this, a really intense thing. And I've learned, like I've played games that have been really peaceful and relaxing and healing. And I've learned that games can help you kind of like engage in those activities for yourself, like
Oh, yeah.
bringing about
Yeah.
peace, bringing about healing, bringing about relaxation. And, it's not all about crazy violence and intense situations and experiences. And I find myself having that conversation all the time with people who are like, you play games? I didn't take you for a Call of Duty fan. And I'm like, bruh, there's so much more than just that. Are you kidding me? Or you like Overwatch? Like, I mean, I went through a period of time where I enjoyed Overwatch, but I was trash, so it kind of made me sad. But like, there's
You say
there's just
trash or trashed?
trash.
Trash.
So it's because I've learned that games can be so much more than just what a lot of people assume.
Yeah.
I've been able to
absolutely.
have some really cool conversations where people are like, really? You can use games of some kind in the classroom for a learning situation and it's not Fortnite? Yes, you can.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Like, horses don't learn in a classroom, but...
Donkeys do.
Oh, okay,
Oh
you're
my
right.
gosh.
You're fair.
My poor
What?
little donkey friends. You're making fun of them.
Even just thinking about all of that.
We're allowed to say that because their names are Matt and Bubba.
They
You know,
are
their
not
real names are
specific.
Thelma and Louise, but
Well, whatever, same thing.
It's the same.
Thinking about that, like even after our last child was born, like
say her
for
name.
those of you that don't know, Penny. For those of you that don't know, like it can be a pretty lonely time for a husband. It can because
It
the
really
mom
can.
wants to sleep when the baby sleeps, so that means they're going to bed at like 7, and pretty much they're completely. Especially if your wife is or you are breastfeeding, I guess. If you're breastfeeding, you're probably not lonely. If your wife's breastfeeding, like it's a lonely time. So what do I do? Like I play games. So being able to find peace and rest and in these games, like I played a ton of Breath of the Wild because Aaron went to sleep when Penny went to sleep. So it was kind of a depressing time, which is sad to say, but you'll be able to find joy and rest and peace, I guess, in a game. So, we have an article about that on our website.
We do.
Yeah.
It's
Check it out.
specifically about Breath of the Wild. For me, like, it's helped 99.9% of the stuff that we do here at Love Thy Nerd is games. We're starting to branch out into comics, other bits of nerdy fandom. But what it's helped me understand is that like I can make lifelong friendships that I play some dumb game with.
How dare you say that?
Well, I mean, like you thinking about it, like it's not just video games, but like that's where we started. Like I met a bunch of random people that I played online with, and we became friends. And then with this past weekend, it was a bunch of pretty random people that we barely knew playing Dice Throne that now we're friends with, and those relationships are going to last. So it's really made it real to me that a lot of people see games as a very selfish thing. Like, well, they're just doing it because there's some dumb nerd that just wants to do a World of Warcraft raid.
Yeah,
and,
for
just
sure.
alone.
Or they don't want to see, they don't want to hang out, they don't want to leave the house, and blah, 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 blah,
antisocial,
blah.
blah,
Yeah.
And I think that don't hear me say that there's not merit to that, because I do know people like that. I don't know them very well, obviously, because of that reason. But I would say that for the most part, games are some of the most social things that people can,
especially tabletop games, I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean, even if not, like if you find a good raid group to be a part of,
That's
like
true.
That's your family. We've talked about it before. One of the most staggering, things, it's not necessarily a statistic, fact, is that people spend millions of hours collectively together, and they build relationships with people that they're playing online with, or in a game bar or wherever with. So much so that those people get married. So much so that those people, invite them to be in their wedding, or they become, godparents to their kids or whatever. Like that's why Matt, Kate, and I are friends right now, is based around gaming. We were forced.
We're not friends. We're not friends.
Bless up.
Okay. Well, Matt and I.
Decent.
Yeah, it was decent. But seriously, like it's all. It can be relationship building. Now, when you hear about people playing with other people, some 11-year-old on Fortnite that's screaming obscenities about your mom or something like that, but that's, though it may be frequent, I don't think that's the mainstay. For me, that's not the big takeaway from gaming. But I mean, gaming is used to help people cope with all sorts of stuff. We were talking about this earlier before we were rolling, but gaming can help you get through the grief of the loss of a loved one. It can help you grieve that. It can help you find joy again. It can help you get over a fear that you have. There are some VR experiences that are out there that are actually starting to help you overcome like their fear of heights or spiders or whatever. There's also there's a VR experience for when your kids are going in to get vaccinated. Like it's a game that they play. Have you guys seen this?
I saw that. It was so cool.
I didn't see that.
And it's like when they give the shot, they're like putting something over the kid in the game.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because it gets really hot when the vaccine goes in. So like they've incorporated that into the VR experience. And so like there are things that we can learn from games that are very, very, very beneficial. But I think that the question that's not being asked is the opposite of this, and we're not going to dwell on it because that's not the thing. But whenever you have too much of a good when you have to play video games all the time, or when you have to play this game all the time, even if it's like, I don't know, like whenever I'm with somebody, I only want to play this game all the time. That can get a little tired for the other person, and it can actually harm your relationship. So I don't know. I think that games have taught me the most, just how, and this is like as an adult, did not learn this as a kid. Games have taught me the most how I can be a better person to somebody, even if that's just, hey, I'll play your dumb game, whatever. I'm not gonna tell you that I think it's dumb, but I'm gonna play your game with you because that's what. So
for sure.
Well, what else? What do you think? Anything else that you want to close out on here, Kate? Anything that we didn't cover?
No, it's good.
Yeah,
I'm sure we could continue talking about all this, but I feel like we hit the highlights.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I mean our answers are probably a little bit different than what you were expecting.
Who knows?
Like I didn't learn how to jump and crouch through a window in Call of Duty like that, like this. But I don't know. I mean, like, you let us know, please, in the comment section below in this post or on any of the socials that we talked about before. You tell us, what have you learned from games? Honestly, there is a positive and negative aspect to it. We just kind of went positive with.
Yeah.
If you have a negative thing that you've learned from video games or gaming in general, feel free to share that with us too. We just want to get this conversation off the ground. And thank you again, John Harrison, for that question and for getting us rolling. If you have a question that you want us to answer, all you got to do is hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We got this one in a Facebook thread, but you can hit us up at Love Thy Nerd or at Free Play Podcast, and we will answer your question here on said Free Play Podcast.
Or send us an email at us at lovethynerd.com.
Yeah, us at lovethynerd.com. But that's going to do it for episode 42 of the Free Play Podcast. Be sure to check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, really anywhere else that podcasts are found. And if you don't find us, please just let me know, and I'll do my best to relay that information and get us wherever you are. And if you're not already a part of the Love Thy Nerd Facebook group, I swallowed my tongue just for a second there.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. What I meant to say was, if you're not already a part of the Love Thy Nerd Facebook group, you're going to want to go ahead and do. We got a bunch of nerds, bunch of memes, bunch of fun, bunch of bunches, a bunch. And it's just so great. I love it. That's my jam right there, is the community. Manage that sucker. And I want you to be there. And I want you to join us and just be a part of all the great things that we do. That's where we do a lot of our announcements, raffle stuff. We talk about it in there. Anything that we do, we will post in the community. And there's just so much other nerdiness going on. It is a meme hotbed in the community.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, it is just like Gift Central. It's like it's the right amount of trolly, if you ask me. But you're just going to want to search for Love Thy Nerd Community in Facebook. And we will let you in just as long as you answer the questions. I think they're really simple. What is your favorite color? What is your quest? Stuff like that.
What's up, nerd?
Yeah, what's up, birds? But also, you can find us, Love Thy Nerd, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Love Thy Nerd. Be sure to follow us, specifically the Free Play Podcast on Twitter, at Free Play Podcast, for some truly next level incredible content.
There we go.
Ooh-wee. And also, a small plug, Matt and I do a show on Facebook called Beard Bros.
Oh, this thing.
Where
I thought it was Bread Bros. Wasn't it Bread Bros?
Beer Bros.
Oh,
yeah.
Beer Bros. Got it. Okay.
All the things. You can check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time?
No, it's Eastern time.
5 p.m. Eastern.
5 p.m. on the right-hand side.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. Yes.
Yep. 5 p.m. Eastern time-ish. On Facebook, we do a live video show where Matt and I will talk about games. And this week, we are doing. Do you remember, Matt? What you're?
I do.
He does.
Detective style games.
Detective style games. We're going to talk about.
Mine's Chronicles of Crime.
Yep, almost called it Crime Stories again. I have to stop myself every single time.
And I think Kate is going to make a special cameo.
Maybe.
Yeah. She did so well with the Wingspan video
that
we're hoping we get it.
Gosh,
nothing's
so
ever
good.
going to top that. So
don't you dare! This one's going to be 10 times as good.
No, it's not.
20 times. Sorry, 20 times as good.
Yeah, double it and double it again.
Mm-hmm.
Quarter.
Well, like I said, guys, that's going to do it for this episode 42 of the Free Play Podcast. Once again, my name is Bubba Stallcup.
And I'm Matt Warmbier.
I'm Kate Katawaki.
And I'm Kate Katawaki.
I didn't know we were all going to do that voice. Hey, and we'll catch you next week. And remember, if nobody else tells you this, I promise it's true, that Jesus loves you, nerds.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.